I'd like to thank you for coming out today to celebrate our 14th annual Black History Luncheon and Celebration. Not only are we celebrating Black History this month, we're also celebrating the 100th anniversary of the NAACP. African Americans always have had a part in the history of this country, and I'd like to name a few if I may. There was Christmas Attucks, one of the first Americans to die for American freedom during the Boston Massacre in 1770, at the beginning of the American Revolution. There was Benjamin Banneker, a member of the survey team that laid out the plans for our nation's capital. There was Frederick Douglass, a prominent statesman. There was Charles Drew, a pioneer in blood preservation and founder of the blood bank. And he also found ways to preserve plasma. There was William E.B. Du Bois, James Farmer, Katherine Dunham, Martin Luther King, and today, President Barack Obama. They have all contributed to this country and to the world. We also have contributors to our local history, such as Dr. A.C. Swapshire, who organized the Festus Cooperative High School that later became Douglas Cooperative High School, which served 7 counties between St. Louis and Cape Girardeau to give African Americans a high school education. We have Mrs. Bernice Thompson, who founded the A.C. Swapshire Douglas Alumni Scholarship Fund to provide scholarship for African American students from the 7 counties that Douglas High School provided education for. We have Mrs. Willa McCullough, George Courtois, Kenny Evans, Katie Sanders, and Ruth Tucker, who founded the Cultural Diversity Commission, which provides funds for these scholarships. We have Mr. Wyatt Beckett III and Denise Brown, who founded Giving Something Back to the Community, which helps with utilities and medicine and other ways throughout Jefferson County, and also receives funds from this luncheon. We have Mr. William Overstreet, who founded the Concerned Parents Organization, who provides help with tutoring and life skills for our children in this area. And you see, we do have our local heroes and our local historians. But there's another fact that maybe a lot of you people don't know, but I'm going to remember it because it is a great thing that has happened. I was reading the paper the other day about Douglas High School in Webster Grove. They were talking about their basketball team and the history of it. But we also have some history for our own Douglas High School to sit down on South 4th Street. In 1953, the track coach took 2 men to the state track championships in Jefferson City. And those 2 men, along with their coach, brought back the first place trophy that has never been equaled, and I don't think it ever will be. And the coach of that team, I don't know where he disappeared to. He must have known I was going to talk about him. It was Coach McCullough. There he is back there, folks. He's back in the corner. Well, we do have a great program today, like we always do, so I'm not going to stand up here too much longer. So right now I'm going to bring up our Master of Ceremonies for this year. He's been away from us for a while, but he's back this year. With Mr. Jim Spaulding, please come forward.
Well, good morning and welcome again. This is our 14th annual Cultural Diversity Luncheon, which I have been absent the last couple of years, and I thought by my absence that maybe someone would take this responsibility over, but Unfortunately, the Cultural Diversity Committee would not let me out of my contract, so you have to put up with me this year again. I'm honored to MC this luncheon in commemoration of the Black History Month, and as customary, if all of you would please stand for the presentation of the colors presented by our Jefferson County Sheriff's Department.
Guard, forward, march! Left face! Whoa, color! Right face! Forward, march!
Our invocation will be led by Reverend Freeman Robinson, pastor of the Mount Olive Missionary Baptist Church.
Let us all bow our heads for a word of prayer. Gracious Father, in the name of Jesus, the author and finisher of our faith, Father, we come on this beautiful day, this beautiful hour, on this beautiful occasion. We ask thy blessings upon this luncheon. Oh, Father, we realize that you can bless it and you will bless it. I ask thy blessings upon every table, thy blessings upon the speaker, thy blessings upon the choir, thy blessings upon the master of ceremony, thy blessings upon the musician. And Father, give us the strength and just, oh Father, just strengthen our hearts and minds today, Lord, that we can enjoy what you have prepared for us. The blessing we ask in Jesus' name. Amen. Amen.
I will now call to the stage the Mount Olive Missionary Baptist Choir, conducted by Denise Brown, will sing for us the Star Spangled Banner and lift every voice.
So proud.
You all continue to stand as we all recite the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You may be seated. We'll hear more from the choir a couple times in the program this afternoon, but let's give them a nice round of applause for a job well done. Quoting Maya Angelou, novelist and poet, who wrote, "Bringing the gifts of my ancestors gave, I am the dream and the hopes of slaves. I rise, I rise, I rise." She wrote this more than 31 years ago. And just like Dr. Martin Luther King and I Have a Dream speech, that one day, ladies and gentlemen, the day, the time, the hour is now. It is no longer a dream, it is reality. With an historic, momentous win in the U.S. presidential election, former Illinois Senator Barack Obama has generated worldwide headlines for having been elected the first African-American president in United States history. His platform of unity, change, self-determination, and hope was defined by the catchphrase, "Yes, we can," and statements such as, "We are the change we have been waiting for." Or, as he quoted, "There is not a liberal America and a conservative America. There is the United States of America." There is not a black America and a white America and a Latino America and an Asian America. There's the United States of America. History was made and continues to be made as we speak. For most of us Missourians, as well as the rest of the country, we saw it taking place at a rally on October 18, 2008, when presidential candidate Barack Obama drew the largest crowd ever, numbering 100,000 people, who gathered to hear him speak under the Gateway Arch. I am sure some of you were there. Was anyone there? Some of you were there. Even in our own community, we have the first African-American appointed mayor of Festus, our cultural diversity president, Mr. Earl Cook. Earl. I don't know how Earl does everything that he does. A quote from Bill Cosby: "The past is a ghost, the future a dream, and all we have is now." The Culture Diversity Committee would like to take the opportunity to thank all of you for being here today. Your presence makes it possible to continue our efforts of the Shropshire Douglas Alumni Scholarship Fund, as well as giving back something to the community. We'd like to thank those who purchased ads and put together groups to attend this program today. If I'm not mistaken, Walmart has 9 or 10 tables here today. Could everyone from Walmart please stand up? They come from over 4 counties, and we're here early to get folks seated to their assigned tables. A special thanks to Walmart and their community involvement. I'd also like to thank the newspapers, the college, our local hospital, and the many businesses that are represented here today. Special thanks to our civic leaders and elected officials joining us here today, too. Could all of our elected officials and city people please stand up? We have an excellent turnout here today. Please take the time to thank them for their community involvement. I'd also like to thank the religious leaders representing the many faiths of our community, as well as the local schools from around the area. We are grateful that you joined us all today. I hope I didn't leave anyone out. I will leave you with one more quote. President Obama said, "Change will not come if we wait for some other person or some other time. We are the ones we've been waiting for. We are the change that we seek." It is now my distinct honor and privilege to introduce to you our U.S. Congressman, the Honorable Mr. Russ Carnahan. He's actually just back from Washington, D.C. I don't know how many of you caught a glimpse of him on Tuesday night with the joint session of Congress, but I did catch a glimpse of him at the end of the program. So we welcome you, and we're privileged and honored to have you here today.
Good afternoon. It's great to be back and to be home. What an exciting time to be Americans, but also to be here celebrating Black History Month and the Cultural Diversity Committee here that has grown this event every year, done more outreach in the community, and continue to educate and inspire all of us and remind all of us about the power of diversity and how it makes us better and makes us stronger. I don't know how many of you watched the news this morning. There was a story on one of the channels about an exhibit that some grade school kids did, and they had a contest to see who could have the best poster to inspire kids and educate them about Black History Month. And you know what the winning entry was? It was a mirror. Excuse me, when you think about that, it was a mirror at the same height that these grade school kids were, for them to look in and think about their possibilities and what they can be and the leadership that they can provide. And that really is a great way to look at our future. But thanks to all of you for being here and being part of that and helping us pass this on to the younger generations. I want to add my congratulations to Mayor Cook at this historic time and taking over your new duties as mayor. I also want to recognize a couple of folks that are here. Former Mayor Joe Gross and his wife. Joe is on my Veterans Advisory Panel. Joe, where are you? Oh, he's homesick. Well, give him our regards. And also Gloria Barnes, who's on our Veterans Advisory Panel, who's the daughter of the late Sherman Barnes. Is she here? Well, we want to thank her for her service as well. Also want to thank all of our state legislators that are here, many of whom I served with, several from our state senate. I thank them for the work that they do. I want to talk a bit about another story that we heard about right after the November election. And we're familiar with the neighboring Iron County here. And after the election, they looked at the map of Missouri, and a lot of the rural areas didn't vote for our new president, but one of the rural counties that did was Iron County. It's a small rural county, like a lot in Missouri, and but it voted for President Obama. And some reporters and folks thought they wanted to go talk to people in Iron County about what happened down in Iron County. And they went down there and interviewed people, and person after person told them about the African-American families that had lived in Iron County, not a large number, a small number actually, that they knew. They were active in their communities, and gave them comfort and ability to vote for President Obama and to change that trend. I think there's a lesson there. Not all of our places in America, or even our state, have much diversity in their communities, and I think it's important. We're blessed here in our region to have growing diversity and a strong recognition as to what that means. But we still do have work to do in other parts of our state, other parts of our country. Our work is not done. But I think when President Obama stood before Congress this last Tuesday, that picture for our country, but not just for our country, around this world, sends such a strong signal that our country has turned the page to a new chapter. And I think that's part of who we are as Americans. It's now part of our history. And all of you, all of us as Americans, should be proud. Thank you all for what you do. And we look forward to working with you in these historic times ahead, meeting the challenges ahead with optimism and with the strong new leadership we have in Washington to meet those challenges with confidence, with inspiration, but most importantly, unified as Americans. Thank you.
Thank you, Congressman Carnahan, for being here and giving us some words today. I know your busy schedule. We all appreciate your presence here today. And you got to have lunch this year. That's good. We have a couple of special proclamations that I'd like to read. I find my notes here. I'm just going to read this to you because this is a very special one. This is a proclamation. Whereas civil rights pioneer Rosa Parks, born February 4th, 1913, would have been 96 today, and whereas Rosa Parks was an African-American woman who on December 1st, 1955 in Montgomery, Alabama, refused to obey a bus driver's orders to relinquish her seat to make room for a Caucasian passenger. And whereas Rosa Parks' brave and defiant act opened a decisive chapter in the civil rights movement of the United States. And whereas Rosa Parks has been described by the United States Congress as the mother of modern-day civil rights movement. Now therefore, I, Jeremiah W.J. Nixon, Governor of State of Missouri, do hereby proclaim February 4th, 2009 as Rosa Parks Day, and recommend to the people of Missouri that this day be appropriately observed in honor and out of respect for Rosa Parks. In testimony whereof, I hereunto set my hand and cause to be affixed the Great Seal of the State of Missouri and the City of Jefferson this 4th day of February 2009, signed by Secretary of State Robin Carnahan and by the Governor himself. Earl promises me that this will be appropriately displayed at the Festus City Hall, right, Earl? Now I'd like to bring forth Alicia Layton, local store manager from Walmart, and Mr. Wyatt Beckett from Giving Back Something to the Community. Could they please come forward?
Good afternoon. I don't know if you can hear me. I have a pretty big mouth, though. Just wanted to say thank you for letting us be part of this great event. We've came for the last few years, and we absolutely love coming here. So many great people that we meet throughout the community. I have a few of my coworkers here, and Walmart, again, thank you all for coming today. Appreciate that. We've got several tables of Walmart like they announced earlier. I have a couple stores. My store is store 69 right over here at the Twin Cities Supercenter, Festus in Crystal City. And then we also have Gary McLean here. Gary McLean and Brian Reeves is over here, and they work at the DeSoto store. And with Walmart, we are so honored to be able to give back to the community. And the last few years we have done that. We have actually we're giving the most this year that we've been able to give. And it's actually the largest amount that we can give. And I'd like to thank Amanda Stratton. She's one of my assistant managers for helping us out with that and getting a grant together. First, I'd like to introduce Gary McLean. Where is he again? Right here, Gary McLean from the DeSoto Supercenter. They have a check in the amount of $2,000 to give back to the community. So thank you so much, DeSoto, Walmart, and Gary. Very, very exciting. I wanted to read a little in the announcements here. We have a part that says community in there. That says charity begins at home, and our home is where we live and work. We're proud about giving back to the communities we share with our friends and our families. We give locally, finding the most worthy ways to share the fruits of our success. And we at Walmart absolutely think that giving back to our community here is the most important thing we can do, and are so honored to be able to be a part of this. And the Twin Cities Supercenter, Festus of Crystal City, right across the road, would like to present you with a check for $5,000. So again, thank you for letting us share this day with you and spend a little bit of time up here. We really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Anyway, I'd like to take a minute to just thank Walmart. This was an idea that Denise Brown, where you at, Denise? Is she here? Okay, anyway, we were just talking one day, and we came up with this, and we figured that what's the best way that we could do to help in the community, and it just kind of took off. So before I leave, it's not just me and it's not just Denise. There are other members of GSB, TTC, are giving something back to the community. So I'd like to have them all stand up or come out of the corner wherever you're at. So, we got something, give them a round of applause for you. So once again, I'd like to thank you, the people in the community, and also Walmart, because that's what this is all about. You know, we all took a look and we said, well, we can't help everybody by ourselves, but together we can do something. And so that was an idea back in 2000, and it's continued to grow today. So, and this is just I'm kind of shook up because this is really something great. So I want to thank everybody for helping us out. Thank all the people in the group, and we're always looking for volunteers. Thank you.
Thank you, Walmart. Thank you, Wyatt, for accepting that. What a wonderful contribution that is to that program. Again, a round of applause for everyone at Walmart. I have another quote from Sarah Lawrence Lightfoot, an African-American professor of education at Harvard University. Schooling is what happens inside the wall of school, some of which is educational. Education happens everywhere, and it happens from the moment a child is born. Some say before and until it dies. It is now my privilege to introduce to you Dr. Wayne Watts, President of Jefferson College. Dr. Watts.
Good afternoon. Thank you very much for allowing me to speak to you today. It's always a pleasure. I will speak on behalf of Jefferson College. The college continues to grow and be a better partner in the lives of the citizens of Jefferson County. Enrollment is at record levels again. Compared to last year, the number of credit hours taken is up 7%, and the number of students served is up 8%. We are up in every category of students: new students, returning students, continuing students, students who transfer in from other colleges, full-time students, part-time students, they're all up. At our new Arnold Education Facility, enrollment is up 25%. We have placed a renewed emphasis on student success. We have created a special advising group to provide individualized and personal attention to every student. We now require all new freshmen to take a first-year experience course. We call it COL 101. This course helps students learn test-taking skills, time management skills, study skills, and how to deal with the domestic issues and transportation issues. We extended our hours for student support services and added hours in the evenings. We added professional tutors and better trained our student tutors. We've created a new Center for Teaching and Learning where faculty can learn the best teaching practices. I could go on and on, but you should know that we have created more opportunities for student success than ever before, and it just keeps getting better. I have mentioned in the past the successes we have had in integrating the college into the Black community and vice versa. We continue to improve the cultural diversity on campus in our faculty, staff, and students. It hasn't been easy. For every 3 steps forward, we sometimes take a step back, but we still make forward progress. We realize that our efforts are part of a long journey. We are up to the trip, and we are committed and won't give up. For brevity's sake, I'm not going to mention all of the specific accomplishments the college has made in improving cultural diversity on campus. But I would like to mention a couple of things because they involve some important people here today. We are working with the concerned citizens of Jefferson County to improve our services to all Blacks in the county. Bill Overstreet and Gary Underwood head up this effort, and from the college, Dr. Julia Hampton. Would you please stand, Julia, Gary, Bill? We have an active Bridges group. They meet monthly and discuss issues of cultural diversity. Would those involved please stand? Lois Underwood, Gary Underwood, Beth Watts, my precious wife, Gwen, and Bill. Recently, we created a search committee for a new president. We were fortunate in that Mayor Earl Cook agreed to be a member of that committee and help us find a replacement for me. Mayor Cook. Also, we now have another member of the Black community on our foundation board. Bill Overstreet, would you please stand again? Keep standing, Bill. There is an evaluation team coming to the college to decide whether the college merits another 10-year accreditation. Bill Overstreet has been invited to meet the evaluation team this Tuesday. I have no doubt that we will be granted the reaccreditation, and as you can see from the things I just mentioned, the black community is a greater part of the college than ever before. I have spoken at length with my successor, Dr. Ray Kaminsky. I am convinced he will continue the work we have begun on cultural diversity. We are proud of our accomplishments. We know our work is not done. Please know that our heart is in the right place. Lastly, I am retiring as of June the 30th of this year. My name is Wayne Watts. I've had the pleasure of working with a number of you over the years. My name is Wayne Watts. The reason why I say that is because I don't want to forever be known as the guy that followed Bill McKenna. For those of you close to the situation, you know what I'm talking about. On a more serious note, I have been fortunate over the years to live in this great county, to get to know the good people of the county, black and white, and to work at that wonderful place that we all call Jefferson College. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Watts. We wish you well in your retirement, and hope you enjoy many hours of relaxation, and appreciate your comments here today. Let's give him another round of applause. We now call back to the stage for our musical presentation, the Mount Olive Choir under the direction of Denise Brown for our musical presentation.
King Jesus is listening. 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 King Jesus is listening, listening. King Jesus is listening, listening. King Jesus is listening to you.
Again, I'd like to thank Denise and the Mount Olive Choir for what a wonderful job. They've been hiding on us. I didn't realize we had. I don't know why we haven't had them here before. I think we should have them back, don't you? You probably noticed me stumbling around here the last few minutes, but I'm embarrassed to say that I guess it's one of those faux pas. Todd Mann handed to me the proclamation from the governor as well as from Senator McCaskill, and somehow it is the one from Senator McCaskill has disappeared. So I've looked at my folders, cannot find it. Todd has worked tirelessly. Todd Mann from Mann Funeral Home. Todd has worked tirelessly. I'm sure we will come up with it. It was a fact copy, and I was going to read it to you. It was just a couple paragraphs from the senator. But we will put it in the program for next year so you can all see it. But I'm somewhat embarrassed that I can't find it. Now, if I do find it, I will read it to you. So again, thanks. Also, we have a proclamation from Hillsborough from Mr. Frank Rowland, as always. I won't read it to you, but again, Frank, where are you? Frank's here. He's never missed a one. Been here for all 14 of them. Now, I think this is the moment you've all been waiting for. It is my great pleasure to introduce to you Mrs. Lynn Jackson. She is a great-great-granddaughter and is one of several descendants of Dred and Harriet Scott. She is the oldest of 4 siblings, born to John and Marcelite Madison. Her father was a family spokesperson regarding the famous ancestors for over 50 years. Lynn earned her Bachelor's of Science degree in Business Administration from SIU Edwardsville. She is a graduate of classical music from the exceptional Alida Ward Wells Piano Studio, which was located in the Ville area in St. Louis. She and her husband, Brian, teach biblical apologetics through the PARRC Research, Inc., a research ministry they started in 1989. They have 2 grown children. Lynn has worked for the Girl Scouts Council of Greater St. Louis as Business Operations Director, Cass Logistics as Supervisor of Data Entry, Ford Motor Company as an Employees Relations Associate, and for the last 12 years at Bryan Cave, an international law firm, and as a General Services Manager. Community of service is very important to her. She served 2 terms as Vice President and volunteered for the Community Women Against Hardship for over 16 years, is on the advisory board of the Urban K-Life, a unique mentoring program in the public schools, started Young Ladies of Integrity for girls from 10 to 40, is on the review board of the Global Day of Prayer, serves on the board of Mission Metro St. Louis and the Diversity Committee of the Associates of Legal Administrations. She produced, wrote, and hosted a cable TV program, PARRC Presents. She has served as Sunday school teacher, superintendent and vacation Bible school director, writing her own curriculum for the past several years. With her mother and her father, she founded the Dred Scott Heritage Foundation and commemorated the 150th anniversary of the Dred Scott decision in 2007 and 2008. She has taken the mantle as the family's historian, spokesperson, and has engaged in over 150 opportunities across the country since 2007 to tell this famous story and inspire people of all ages to learn more of our complete American history. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm welcome to Mrs. Lynn Jackson.
Good afternoon and greetings to you. I am so thrilled and delighted to be here. The room is beautiful, but when you all enter it and I see this beautifully integrated room, it's even more beautiful. I want to thank you for the opportunity to come back. I have to say that Miss Sally Borgeson was the person who invited me to Jefferson College last year. And several of you, I want to say, God bless you, you came to our gala for Dred Scott in March in St. Louis, and that was exciting to me. I also want to thank Ms. Willa McCullough for inviting me to come here today. I wasn't aware of this wonderful gathering, and I understand this is your 14th year, so you have done a mighty job here. I have to say that Festus is one of those places that was like way down there on the map from St. Louis. I live in Florissant, and I hate to say this, but you all know it. It's like, well, you got to get back before dark. That's what we used to hear when we grew up. But boy, that is just not true. And Ms. McCullough shared some history that she had here in this area. And where's my friend LaDonna? She's here somewhere. There you are. LaDonna Garner is a genealogist that has helped us with our Dred Scott presentations over the last 2 years. And so I also recognize, she's not here, there's a senator was sitting at this table earlier, and I had an opportunity to speak with the Coalition of Labor Union Women, and she was a guest there too. So I have been very blessed to be someone who was able to share this story, and to meet so many wonderful people, and to just be born in this time and at this date. Change has come, and it's not only yes we can, but yes we will. I think we need to put that on the end. I want to congratulate one more time, you don't have to stand up, but your new mayor, Earl Cook. It's just an amazing thing. Bless you. And I congratulate all of you as well, because the stories that we're hearing about how this came about is just heartwarming. And yesterday I was at an educational curriculum presentation, I guess you will say, from the Elijah P. Lovejoy Society. And Reverend Tapscott has started that years ago to honor Elijah P. Lovejoy. So obviously we work closely together in some prospects, especially in research. And he made a comment yesterday that St. Louis used to be the model for public schools. And you wouldn't know that today, unfortunately, but I'm a product of the public school system, and I'm here to tell you it was awesome. And I believe that it still can be. That's another soapbox that I have, but my heart is very strong for education. But I want to say in regards to that, that I feel like Festus can also be a model for reconciliation. I would like to also let you know that my darling mother is here with me today, and her name is Marcelite Madison, but we call her Marcy. Obviously, this is a story of Dred Scott and his family, and I have to say that it's a beautiful, wonderful, awesome family. My dad was John Madison, and unfortunately, the Lord thought he needed to go home in the middle of our anniversary in July of '07. So I always mention him and tell you how much I adore and love my parents and how wonderful they are to me. My mother just gushes over me like I was a newborn. And sometimes, I mean, I'm really old, you know, at this point. But I have a loving family, and I thank her for accompanying me today. I'm sure there probably is somebody else I should mention, but to all of you dignitaries and surrounding counties, the mayors and politicians who are here, thank you for presenting today and allowing me to be here. I know I only have about 30 minutes, and so you're going to get the very abbreviated version. It may not look like it, and I'm going to talk fast because there's a lot to share about this story. Since I had been here last year, I thought, oh, I can just move on. But then it's a good thing we had that last conversation, because I was going to go to Jefferson College. I did not realize we were going to be back here today in such an incredible audience. So I am going to share more of the story than I had originally planned, so that some of you who don't know some of the other details, you get the general story, but you don't always know some of the little tidbits in there. So in a few moments, I'm going to go ahead and get that started. I would like to say also, though, that there is a book in the back that's called the Historical African American News Journal, and that is a book that a gentleman offered to me to sell, and proceeds from those sales go to the Dred Scott Heritage Foundation. So if you choose to buy one, I would be glad to sign it for you afterwards if that's your choice, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and move into the program now, and I hope you can hear me. It sounds like the mic is doing well, but I don't have a very loud voice. Can you hear? Okay, thank you. Okay, well, let's move on. Who was Dred Scott? Well, that's always an interesting question. I have to say that a lot of times when people hear his name, they look a little blank sometimes, and then they go, yeah, I remember that name, and wasn't he that guy? And it's sometimes embarrassing the people who should know and don't know. But he was not only the person we know for the case, but he was a husband and a father, a freedom fighter, a co-defendant, and he was a personal assistant, a cook, a stevedore, which is someone who worked on the riverfront, janitor, a launderer, and a man of conviction, integrity, faith, and to us, he is a hero. His wife, Harriet, was devoted to him tremendously. If you got a chance to see the play the Black Rep put out called No Land's Man, it ran for about 2 years as a touring play. It was phenomenal. And it showed the close unity and the love and the support between this couple in order to do this. She was a protector. She was a mother, and I say protector because I can share this here. They hid the children away for, I'm not sure how long, but it was a good amount of time during the trials because the environment was dangerous. And part of what they were doing was to keep their family together. And the girls were getting older to where they could be sold. And so I do believe through their church and other friends, perhaps, we don't really know, the girls were definitely taken to be hidden away for a while. So she was a mother protector. A co-defendant, I say that because she also filed her own petition. So when they both walked up the steps of the courthouse that day, they both intended to sign and did. A woman of faith, we know that she attended the Second African Church in St. Louis, which is now Central Baptist Church, and I think the pastor's name is Reverend Scott. And there are records there of their attendance, both of them. She was a washerwoman, that was her trade. And I like to tell people that she's the first entrepreneur in the family because after she did get her freedom, she continued to do that. Her name was listed in the telephone book, white pages, whatever they called it at the time. And she continued to do that, and this time she could keep her own money. Freedom fighter and heroine. Dred and Harriet had 2 girls, but they also had 2 boys, and the boys died as infants. And this is a little story. I'm going to deviate quickly here because we're still researching. We're absolutely still finding out new things. And all the time that we've grown up, my grandmother had 7 children. My dad was the second to the youngest. And they always said that the oldest daughter died and had no children, and the younger daughter had children, and that's where we came from. But we have done our homework, and when I say we, I want to give really special recognition to Mrs. Ruth Ann Hager, who was a certified genealogist with St. Louis County Library on Lindbergh. And she is the person that I've been working with most closely on the family history. But we have found that it really was Eliza that married Wilson Madison, and they had 7 children, and that Lizzie actually did not have any children. So we've had to turn that around based on documented evidence of birth records and death records and things like that. The 2 boys, like I said, we do not know. So they're no Scots. And how many times do I get a phone call and somebody says, oh, I think I'm related to you. My name is so-and-so Scott. And we go, well, probably not, you know, and I try to let them down gently, but there were no boys of issue, so there could not be any Scott relatives that we would know of. Let's see, I know you can read that, and I'm not going to try to read every word that's on the screen, but basically I'm trying to put this in perspective so when I skip forward that it makes sense. Dred and Harriet met in the Wisconsin territories, and they actually had a real wedding. They had a marriage by the Justice of the Peace. But the owner that Dr. Emerson, who was the person that he was with at the time, it took them a lot of free territory. So there was a law called once free, always free. And if you had gone into free territory, then you could be free. You could actually stay there, or you could just declare your freedom. Well, Dred and Harry didn't stay. They traveled about, but at a certain point, they decided they did want to be free. So they decided to sue. Now, I just threw this in here real quick because this is pretty much what I just told you, but we think we have about 75 members in the family of descendants right here today. The Blow family, who had always were the original owners of the Scotts, they encouraged them along with their pastor to sue for their freedom. They did this. The goal he had again was to save his family. And I feel like he did not run. A lot of people say, why didn't he stay? Why did he go back to Missouri? I think he wanted to do it like a man, a person of dignity, not a scared animal that was on the run. And it was dangerous, and I just myself couldn't imagine having to run. Well, he took the high road, which turned out to be a difficult one, and they did file for their freedom petitions on April 6th at the old courthouse downtown. The cases were identical, but they did file their own. Now, this is a copy of Dredd's petition, and in the center you can see Dred Scott, a big S there. And then, let's see, maybe I can use this. Hey, there you go, there's the S. And right here it says his mark. And of course, most of you know that's how it was when you could not write. But this was from the documents which were found, the original documents were found at the St. Louis Circuit Court building several years back, not too long ago though. And all these documents have been preserved by Washington University. This is the old courthouse in St. Louis where it all started. And I bring this up because you probably know that too. But there is a new exhibit because we did commemorate the 150th anniversary, and so many people participated. It was amazing. By that I mean organizations, Washington U, Harvard, the National Parks Association. I mean, I could just list about 60 groups. But the anniversary prompted them to create 2 exhibit halls, of which one now exists. It's combined. And there is now a new movie there with Dred and Harriet, and that is worth going down to the courthouse to see. Prior to that, you could not, you have to go up to the 2nd floor to see their information. So who would have thought that they went up there to do this, and the first trial was postponed because of hearsay, and the second trial, they literally gained their freedom, and a jury of 12 white men actually declared them free. But Mrs. Emerson, now a widow, decided, oh no, this is income, I can't let you go. So she said no, and immediately appealed that case. It went to federal court, and at that point they said that times are not as they once were, and Chief Justice also said Missouri is willing to accept the consequences of slavery within her borders. And I'd have a whole new talk that we're developing based on this particular decision. So at this point, Mrs. Emerson goes to Boston and marries Dr. Calvin Chafee. In the meantime, enter Roswell Field of the Eugene Field House, the father of Eugene. The house is now a national landmark because of this man's role in the case of Dred Scott. Truly, truly, you would not have heard of him if this man hadn't done his homework. And I'm sure he was outraged, as many people were, and thought there's got to be something else that we can do. And so he read around, he was an attorney, and he found what they call the diversity clause, which means if you have a case where the 2 litigants are in separate states, then it's cross-state, and it's diverse states, and therefore it can go to the federal level. And so I'm sure he clicked for joy, like they did with Brown versus Education when they found that last nugget that they needed to win the case. And I think he expected to lose in the federal court, I do, because I also think that the strategy was to go to Supreme Court, and let's get this settled once and for all. So this is what they did. In the meantime, I just put a footnote down here that Dred worked at Roswell Field's law firm, which was right down the street there on Broadway, and he was a janitor. I worked for Brian Cave Law Firm, which is also up the street on Broadway, but as a general services manager. And my father received his law degree from Lincoln University. So things have changed since Dred had his experiences. It went to the Supreme Court. I'm cutting straight through here, and we all know this phrase that Judge Tawney pronounced when he denied them their freedom, that there were no rights that African Americans nor their descendants would have. In fact, none of them could ever be citizens of the United States. He went too far in saying that the Missouri Compromise, also Northwest Ordinance, were not constitutional, therefore opening the door to slavery to be the law of the land. And this was what ignited people on top of the decision that indicated that African Americans were property. This again was a catalyst for the Civil War, and that story is going to be told and told here as we enter the years coming up to that and celebrating Lincoln's anniversary. Judge Tawney, actually, if I might footnote for him, was a very well respected and apparently a very good judge and attorney. But he's always remembered for this case, and unfortunately his heart shifted a bit at this point in time, as did the times when slavery was looking like, boy, we better hold on to this. In the meantime, Montgomery Blair has solicited this gentleman to help the case in D.C., but as we know, they did not win. So Dr. Calvin Chafee spin back to Irene Emerson. She went up there and married the congressman from Boston. Well, we think she was a gold digger and pretty much not a really nice lady. So she went and she thought she had found her fortune, but you know there's always a price to pay. Irene went up there and probably did all the socialite things that a congresswoman's wife would do. And then one day, the verdict came down that Dred and Harriet would not be free. Well, see, the reason she wasn't too concerned, because her brother really had been given care over them, and his name was John Sanford. So did anybody ever wonder why it was Dred Scott versus John Sanford? Now, you guys, I don't think are too much of a novice, but a lot of people just blithely go, okay, John Sanford, I thought he was suing Irene Emerson. She didn't want any parts of the working, she just wanted the money. So her brother was the person that they were suing at the Supreme Court level. This gentleman, we know a few things about him, but I don't have time to go into it with you, but it was probably a blessing that he was the one. Here's the kicker. Mrs. Emerson went to Boston and married Calvin Chafee. He was an ardent abolitionist. Now, I'm sure she had to know that, so she kept it quiet. What happened after that? He told her, we will not have this. I am not going to own the most famous slaves in the world. No way. So I have here on the screen a letter so that you can see it there, but let me show you this. This notebook right here is a compilation of the letters that Calvin Chafee, Montgomery Blair, and Roswell Field wrote back and forth to each other over a period of about 3 or 4 months. And Mr. Chafee was so outraged and incensed about owning the most famous slaves in the land, because you know that, all H broke loose when this decision came down. And he was an abolitionist. So the letters went back and forth, and this is an excerpt from one of them. And I like this one because it shares his passion. If not too much trouble, my dear sir, I beg you to forward to me the proof of my wife's ownership and the necessary papers for the necessity, I hate that line, the necessary papers for the necessity of the freedom of the Scott family. And notice he, with dignity, he says the Scott family. My wife, I'm sorry, lost my place. My whole soul utterly loathes and abhors the whole system of slavery. There it is. My whole soul utterly loathes and abhors the whole system of slavery, and not only myself, but my whole family will be excised from it. I remain very sincerely your friend, Chafee. Now, in a last letter, when they made all these communications so that the Scott family could be free, he says to them, and if you don't get it done right now, I'll find somebody else who will. So somebody you've been working with for 3 or 4 months, you're giving them like 1 minute to make this happen or you're out. That's how strongly he felt about it. So I can only imagine them, since Irene was pretty sick around that time. I think I would be. So we've talked about this. I'm moving forward. The bottom here, a quitclaim deed finally was the resolution of this. That Mrs. Emerson, her husband, well, Mrs. Chafee now, and their daughter Henrietta, the 3 of them signed over a quitclaim deed to Taylor Blow, who was the son of the original owner, Peter Blow. The Blow family had always helped them. And this was the way that they had worked it out for the Scotts to get their freedom. This happened 6 weeks after the decision that they would not be free, 6 weeks. So this is a copy of that quitclaim deed, and right there, this is the section. Again, thank goodness that those files were found in the circuit court building, but this is the actual quitclaim deed. And a lot of times people hear that and they go, well, you do a quitclaim deed for houses and property. And it's like, oh yeah, that's right. That's what they thought this was. So there's a lot of history out there, and we're having a great time uncovering some of it these days. But this was the road to freedom. So what we did for the anniversary, which I think is one of our crowning achievements, and there were many, was that we were able to unveil 1 block so far on 4th Street, the street side where the old courthouse they sold slaves. We unveiled Dred Scott Way and renamed that street in honor of Dred and Harriet, and that was done on the 150th anniversary of their freedom. So, thank you. our intention, and it always was, to get all of 4th Street named that way. We knew at this particular date we could only do 1 block, and we're still working on that. I think some things have moved in our favor now that might make that happen. That's my mother and father in the middle. My cousin Stephanie and her mother, Burnell. Her father was my dad's brother. And so just a little bit about the foundation briefly, because I want to move on and tell you some things that are current. And how much time do I have left? I don't know. Oh, thank you. Okay, whatever I need. Well, I'm going to try to stay within my allotted time as much as I can. The Dred Scott Heritage Foundation website is here, and we have a new P.O. Box address. I'll explain that in a few minutes. The goal of the foundation was, first and foremost, that we would set something up so that we could absolutely, in the right way, commemorate, and we never celebrated the Dred Scott decision. But we had commemoration, we have education, and reconciliation. Those are our 3 points. Those are our 3 purposes. And commemoration went exceptionally well. And right here is my time where I have to stop and say thanks to God, because he was so amazing in all of this. And even as I'm standing here before you today, I thank him, I praise him, because he has really orchestrated the whole thing. Even from the moment that it occurred to me, we as a family ought to do something about this anniversary and not just hear it on the news one day when March 6, 2007 rolls around. And so amazing things that, again, this is the abbreviated version, but I hope sometimes to be able to share with you some of the awesome things that have happened, what people have done, and what is happening now. Education is ongoing throughout, of course, but we hope to have workshops and seminars in particular, not just on the Dred Scott family. It's like this was like a kickoff catalyst, but there's so much history out there that you have never heard. I'm going to give you an assignment, but I shouldn't give you my thunder, but there's a black James Bond that fought in one of our prior wars, and nobody knows his name, and he's actually hiding behind someone in the only picture we have of him. And it's not that he's hiding, they just painted him like that. But there's a lot of wonderful history out there, and so our foundation hopes to do that in the future, in the near future actually, so that we can continue to learn this history. And the Friends of the 150th Anniversary are, again, those 60-plus organizations who have helped us, sponsored us. It's just beyond comprehension how many people have been involved. I want to bring this to your attention as well. I actually have lots of wonderful friends, and I don't use that word loosely because a friend is a special person, but I'm blessed. And I was able to, through some of our church pastor friends who have helped us, receive 3 resolutions from the Southern Baptists. One was on the national level, the state level, the local level. And I wanted to bring one, but it was so big and I just had too much stuff, so I did not bring it. But the Southern Baptists on all 3 levels have denounced the decision of the Dred Scott case and have resolved and committed themselves to reconciliation in all ways. So we're not just talking about Missouri, we're talking about the nation. And most people are fairly amazed by that, but this is where they are today. And let's see, yeah, that's the same thing. Okay, as far as a monument goes for Dred and Harriet, there is none. I do know probably the most place that their names are mentioned would be in the Wisconsin territories where they met and were married. I understand there's more there than there is even in St. Louis. But as far as we've been able to research, and every day I'm willing for somebody to tell me if I'm wrong, but there is no statue of Dred or Harriet anywhere in the world that I know of. And we find that to be disturbing. So the goal of the foundation right now in phase 2 is that we should be able to erect a statue or monument to them. And right now we're planning to do that at Keener Plaza, which is in downtown St. Louis. I've spoken to several of the right people who all nod their heads and say this is good, and we're applying for a permit to do that. We did have a wonderful sculptor, I want to give her due, Tina Allen, who did the George Washington Carver statue, which is at the Missouri Botanical Gardens. Tina was always intended to be our sculptor. And we went through a process, and she was voted to be that person. And right as we went to process that, she passed away of a heart attack last September. So we are finding another person, and there's some wonderful people out there. But this is what needs to happen. So we are working to do that. And in order to accomplish that, there are several things that we hope to do, but one where we want to involve children and young people is the Dred Scott Penny Project. And this has not been officially announced, but I just was sharing this because we're getting very close to it. And so you'll find out more about that in our website. But we're also working on special collectibles for Dred Scott, which we will hope to use as fundraising items, but they will be very unique and very exciting. And every time I share them with people, they go, oh, can I have one now? Or where is this? And we're working on it. So hopefully by the end of spring, early summer, we'll be able to produce those and they'll be available. Now this is very special. This is Dred's gravesite. And it is in Calvary Cemetery. He was originally buried in Wesleyan, but the Taylor Blow had him interred at Calvary because he was such a wonderful friend and because he did not want him to be lost in history. So Calvary was probably the safest place in St. Louis that he could be buried. And thank goodness he did that because we now know where he is and that we can go there. If you will notice, and again, I'm going to use this little wonderful thing, but right here on top of the gravestone, and a lot of you I know were well aware of these things, but there are pennies on top of his grave. But we don't see that too often, maybe in a certain grave, certain cemeteries, but in Calvary, that's the only one. And the stories as to why, we're not sure. But we're using that as our kickoff thought for the Penny Project, the Dred Scott Penny Project. Lincoln obviously freed the slaves, and so we have something special that we're working on in regards to that. This is Greenwood Cemetery. Is anybody familiar with Greenwood? You guys don't know Greenwood Cemetery. Okay. This is like one of the oldest African-American cemeteries in the city of St. Louis. A lot of famous people are there, including an aide to Abraham Lincoln. Buffalo soldiers are there, jazz musicians. Harriet Scott is buried there. And this is one of many, many pictures we took November of '06 to show that we did a site survey. It is an abandoned cemetery, more or less. I tried really hard to get an updated picture to show you, but it has been cleared off, and the people have been reinstated as the Friends of Greenwood Cemetery Association. We are going to honor Harriet again, this time when she's going to have her moment in the sun, on May 26th, again on Freedom Day. So much amazing work has been done by people like Etta Daniels and Charlie Kennedy, and I hate to mention too many names, but Charlie Jordan especially, because he's been out there every day for years clearing off the back section. But volunteers and family members going out, clearing off this cemetery, giving dignity back to these individuals who are buried here. And we're going to dedicate Harriet Hill on May 26th. And we have individuals working to help us put a gazebo there to mark that site. We have an architect firm that is drawing it for us, and we think we have someone that's going to build it. We do need supplies, and so this is one of the things that is going to happen. At the same time, there's a new book out called Mrs. Dred Scott. I think I have that up here. Whoa, here it is. Sorry, got pushed back. It's hot off the press. It's not my book, but it was came out on February 17th. And the lady who wrote this, Lee Vanderbilt, is a professor and a historian. She has documented things that she feels that Harriet contributed. So I have not had a chance to read it yet. It's a brand new book, but it's just great to see things like this coming out. Well, those are some friends of mine. We hang out every year at the Mary Meacham site there, which is, by the way, a historic documented Underground Railroad site off of the Mississippi River 3 miles north of the Arch. So there's a great celebration there every year. Again, a great story that we don't have time to go into, but these are obviously actors. And this is a lady I met who's a descendant of Calvin Chafee. She doesn't know exactly how, so she's not a great-great-granddaughter, but we were at an Underground Railroad Institute conference last year. And this also is a lady who's a descendant of Harriet Tubman, who had no children. So again, these are not granddaughters, but nieces. And this is my mom, my husband, and myself when the Gateway Classic of St. Louis gave Dred and Harriet a diamond in the sidewalk. And so they have a diamond there, they have a star in the Loop, and they have a star in Marshfield, Missouri, which is way down somewhere from here. I'm really lost, but Marshfield, Missouri, and I've been there twice, and those are the sweetest people. And so Dred is, he's with us. So essentially, I'm saying here, thank you for your support, thank you for your encouragement. We have a saying that just says, let the healing begin. We know it has already begun, but that's a rallying call for us to all do whatever we can do to love one another, to share our histories, to appreciate, and to move forward. I thank you for your time. Bless you.
Lynn, I notice your mother just probably beams every time that you do this. If she's done it 150 times, I'm sure you know it by heart, but Marcy, would you stand up and be recognized? Marcy Madison, Lynn's mother. Lynn, thank you for those words. You know, for the past 14 years that I've come to these, to the Cultural Diversity Luncheon and been part of the board, we've learned something, whether it's been the Tuskegee Airmen, the Dred Scott decision, the Buffalo Soldiers. I mean, there's been so many inspiring people that have been here and talked to us and told us about our rich history. And I have to thank Ms. Willa Mae McCullough. Willa Mae, please stand up. She is our... Ms. McCullough, as you know, works tirelessly for the Cultural Diversity Committee, has been an original member of the board. We've talked about that already, but she gets to attend all these luncheons, and she comes back and tells about it, gets so enthused, so we have to give her credit for always bringing to us a program like this and such a wonderful piece of our heritage. Again, thanks, Willa Mae. And she couldn't do it without Adam either. For our final musical presentation, we'll bring the Mount Olive Choir back to the stage to grace us with some more musical renditions.
Everybody look at somebody and tell them, I need you.
I need you.
You need me.
You need me.
We're all a part.
We're all a part of God's body.
Stand with me.
Stand with me.
Look at your neighbor and tell them, agree with me.
Agree with me.
We're all a part.
We're all a part of God's body.
It is His will. You're important to me.
You are important to me.
I need you to survive.
I need you to survive.
That's so beautiful.
You are important to me. I need you to survive.
Come on, choir. Still one more time. Come on.
I need
You need me.
you need me.
We're all a part.
We're all a part of God's
with me?
Agree with me.
We're all a part.
We're all a part of God's body.
It is His will.
It is His will that every need be supplied.
You're important to me.
You are important to
I need you to survive.
I need you to survive. You are important to me. I need you to survive.
Yes, sir. Hold somebody's hand and tell them,
I pray for you.
you pray for me.
You pray for me.
I love you.
I love you. I need you to survive.
I won't harm you.
I won't harm you.
The words from my mouth,
With words from my mouth.
because I love you.
I love you.
I need you to survive.
Need you to survive. I pray for you.
You pray for me.
You pray for me.
I love you.
I love you. I need you to survive.
I won't harm
I won't harm you.
you. The words from my
With
mouth,
words from my mouth.
because I love you.
I love you.
I need you to survive.
Survive. I pray for you.
You pray for me.
You pray for me.
I love you.
I love you. I need you to survive.
I won't harm you.
I won't harm you.
The words from my mouth,
Words from my mouth.
because I love you.
I love you. I need you to survive.
Come on, y'all. Let's turn it up.
You pray for me.
Yes, sir.
I love you.
I need you to survive. I won't harm you.
I won't harm you.
The words from my mouth,
Words from my mouth.
because I love you.
I love you.
I need you to survive.
Survive.
Yes, sir. Come on, y'all.
You pray
Open your mouth and say,
I love you. I need you to survive.
yes, sir.
I won't harm you.
The words from my mouth,
Words from my mouth.
because I love you.
I love you.
I need you to survive.
Survive.
Well,
I pray for you.
you pray for me.
You pray for
Don't you
me.
ever say,
I love you.
I need you to survive.
Survive.
I won't harm
I won't harm you.
you. The words from my mouth,
Words from my mouth.
because I love you.
I love you.
I need you to survive. It is His will.
It is His will that every need be supplied.
Yes, sir.
You are important to me. I need you to survive.
Y'all clap your hands. Amen.
The power of song, right? Let's give him another round of applause. Fine job. Here's another quote from former Secretary of State and retired U.S. General Colin Powell. There is no secrets to success. Don't waste time looking for them. Success is a result of perfection, hard work, keep learning from failure, loyalty to those for whom you work, and persistence. Here's a gentleman that works hard for us. Please give a warm welcome to State Senator Ryan McKenna.
How about a hand for the musicians over here too? Before I get started, I'd like to recognize a few of my colleagues that I invited from Jefferson City. Senator Rita Day, she's from the 14th District. She represents the city of St. Louis County. And my good friend, we just met last summer. He's a state representative. His grandmother was a state representative and a senator, Paula Carter, her grandson, and State Representative Chris Carter. Chris, go ahead and stand up, Chris. And then we had two of my colleagues leave, Senator Robin Wright Jones and Senator Jeff Smith. They both represent the city of St. Louis. They left, but I really appreciate them coming down and accepting my invitation. I have a resolution from the State Senate for a very impressive young man. I'm going to read a couple lines from that. It says, whereas the members of the Missouri Senate hold in high esteem those Show Me State youths who demonstrate their true potential as lifelong learners, involved citizens, and future leaders through their accomplishments as students. And whereas Spencer Alexander recently enhanced his impressive record of achievement when he was selected to attend Boys Nation, which he served as section leader and chairperson. And whereas Spencer preceded his attainment at Boys Nation by participating in Boys State, where he was elected runner-up for governor. And whereas, no stranger to honors and accolades, Spencer previously received a leadership class award at his high school. And whereas the son of our friend Gary Alexander and Kim Alexander, Spencer is justifiably proud to be known as the brother of Jordan and Jake Alexander. Now therefore be it resolved that we, the members of the Missouri Senate, join to applaud the personal and academic accomplishments garnered thus far in the life of Spencer Alexander, and to convey to him this legislative body's most heartfelt commendation for his participation in Boys Nation. Spencer, we are all proud of you. I know your parents are proud of you. My next door neighbor, your grandmother, tells me she's very proud of you. I would like for you to come up and receive this award. And I was just recently told by Spencer when I was in line with him that he has received, fortunately for his parents, he has received a full ride ROTC scholarship to the college of his choice, and he's either going to go to the University of Missouri or Columbia College, and congratulations. And one other reason I wanted to present that resolution today and not do it at Spencer's school is because I needed an excuse to present a resolution to Earl Cook, and I couldn't tell him that I was doing that when I called him. I'm not going to read this resolution. I've known Earl, if you can believe this, for 20 years. He used to have me at his house. I'm friends with his son, Chikozy. I used to eat dinner at their house before basketball games or before basketball practice when my dad was out of town doing his legislative duties. Earl is a wonderful man, a giving person, and somebody that I have a lot of respect for. Recently, you all heard the news about Earl becoming the first African-American to be mayor of a city in Jefferson County, not just the city of Festus, but the first African-American mayor in Jefferson County's history. A lot of gratitude, I think, goes to Mayor Gene Doyle. I don't know if he's here today. For those that don't know, Gene stepped down with his hopes that Earl would be named the mayor. That shows a lot of the character that Gene Doyle has, and we really appreciate that. And while our nation celebrated our proudest accomplishment when we elected Barack Obama, Festus and Jefferson County, we were also celebrating a little bit of our proudest moment too. And congratulations to Earl. It's well deserved, and come up and get your resolution.
Ryan's been the same person as long as I can remember. He takes after his dad. They're both rotten. But I'm very happy to receive this resolution, and probably if I'd known this was happening, I wouldn't have came today. Thank you. Thank you.
I never know quite how to, what to call him anymore. I call him Mr. President, and he said, oh, don't call me that. I call him Mr. Mayor, he says, don't call me that. So I'm not sure. What would you like to be called? Just Earl, right? That's what he likes. All right. Thank you, Ryan. We're now going to give out the Dr. Martin Luther King Drum Major Awards. And which one do you have first? We'd like for Willie Overstreet to please come forward. Willie Overstreet was one of the organizers of the group Concerned Parents. He has served as the president since its inception. The group meets on the fourth Sunday of each month at the Mount Pilgrim Baptist Church in Festus. They share and implement ideas beneficial to parents, children, and young adults. Their main goal is to counsel, instruct, and guide the youth of Jefferson County. Mr. Overstreet has been the driving force in these activities. Let's give him a round of applause.
Good afternoon, and thank you, each and every one. I would like to thank the cultural diversity and giving something back to the community. I would also like to pay homage to our most treasured assets and our goodwill ambassadors, Mr. and Mrs. McCullough. I would also like to salute my better half and the woman that completes me, my lovely wife, my earth angel of 38 years, Mrs. Gwendolyn Overstreet. I would also like to toast my daughter. She's the new doctor of law, Mrs. Mamie Overstreet Joubert. As I stand before you today, I want you to realize I am the epitome of the American dream. I came from poverty to promise, and today to prominence. Only in America could a guy like me do that. And so also, I would like to today give recognition to my foster parents who live again, and I know that they're swollen with pride to know that their son has made it. So I want to thank Mrs. Mamie Lewis, Mr. Fred Lewis, for the confidence that they had in me. I would be remiss if I didn't give the Marine Corps their due. It was the Marine Corps that gave me my character and confidence. The Marine Corps says, adapt, overcome, accomplish the mission. So I would like to say that America, I love so much because in America, only in America, do we see the good in ourselves reflected in each other. And I would like to say, e pluribus unum, out of many, one. I want to thank you for your time today, and I appreciate you guys giving me the opportunity to stand before you and continue my work. Please, please, be life changers. Please be life changers and give some kid the gift of life like my foster parents gave me. If you have a chance, open up your homes and open up your heart, because some kid that you may be a foster parent to may come and stand before you again and say, thank you for all that you've done. Thank you very much.
Our second major drum award goes to the St. Vincent de Paul Society. Jerry Stoverink, our deacon from Sacred Heart Church, is going to accept this honor. Let me give you a little statistics here. Society of St. Vincent de Paul began in Paris, France in 1833 by Frederick Osmond, a Catholic, a 20-year-old college student. The society came to St. Louis in 1845 and now serves as a national headquarters. There are 142 St. Vincent de Paul Society conferences and 85 food pantries in St. Louis area alone under the auspices of St. Vincent de Paul. Sacred Heart Catholic Church, the big one up on the hill, as many of the St. Vincent de Paul conferences offer a free medical prescription program supplying some generic maintenance drugs for those who qualify. This is a non-denominational thing, ladies and gentlemen. And the president, local president here, Marion Branson from Sacred Heart. Marion, would you please stand? She is the local president. Dorothy Groves is the vice president. And the district president, Diane Stoverink, which is Jerry's better half. It encompasses 14 conferences in Jefferson and Washington counties. Sacred Heart Vincent de Paul Conference alone in 2008 gave over $26,000 in utility assistance, over $8,000 in rent and mortgage assistance, and close to $1,000 in gas or transportation assistance, and over $2,000 in shoe vouchers. They also gave assistance in food, furniture, appliances, and assistance with medical prescriptions and other medical supplies. They helped 614 individuals, totaling just over 3,800 volunteer hours. They also operate the clothing room in the Sacred Heart Gym Annex, open on Tuesdays and Saturdays from 9 a.m. to noon. If you would like to make a donation of unwanted clothing, that's a good place to take it. Again, congratulations to more silent heroes in our community. To the St. Vincent de Paul Society, our debt of gratitude. Thank you, Jerry, for accepting the award.
I was told by one of the members of our conference to please be brief, so I will do that. I want to thank the Culture and Diversity Committee for honoring the Sacred Heart St. Vincent de Paul Conference with this award. I want to congratulate Wyatt and giving something back to the community for your award, and we've done some things together, helped clients together, and Wyatt, we may be in touch. You got $1? Very generous of you. But you know, but if it wouldn't be for the generosity of the people, of the merchants of our area, we could not have done what we have done. And so even, you know, in the midst of this economic crisis, we still hear from people that want to give. And through our Christmas time, our donations to St. Vincent de Paul were actually up. And that, I think, is something that we all need to be proud of. One thing that Vincent de Paul has encountered is there aren't any boundaries. You know, the poor, those who are in trouble, there's no boundaries. It reaches from all parts of the community. We've helped people that had manager-type positions, had elite positions in their jobs, but yet found without. And so we've been called to help. But if it wouldn't be for people like yourselves that help us in small ways as well as large ways, we would not have been able to accomplish what we've been able to accomplish. So continue what you do, and God bless in all that you do. Thank you.
I would like to now bring to the stage Bernard Bingham. Bernard? I know you're out there, so there he is. Bernard is getting a special appreciation award. I believe this is the second year. I wasn't here last year, but he donated the clock. He handmade this clock, and that's what we're going to be raffling off here in a little while. But a nice appreciation for Bernard for all the time that he put into it, putting it together for us.
I'd like to read what the award says. It says, Appreciation Award, presented to Bernard J. Bingham, a recognition for your time and effort contributing to our fundraising efforts. Cultural Diversity Committee, February 28, 2009.
For once, I'm at a loss for words. I do this because it's a hobby. And what better outlet can you have for a hobby when you help others? So to whomever takes this home, realize that it was made for you. Thank you very much.
Next, Dave Stoll, would you come forward? From the Holiday Inn. We have an appreciation award for the Holiday Inn here today for all that they do for us, and since they've been helping host us for the last several years, a nice round of applause for the beautiful facility here that we have. A very elegant setting for a wonderful day, and we'd like to thank you, Dave. And for the food.
This is another appreciation award. It's presented to Holiday Inn Express, Festus, Missouri. Thank you for your generous, ongoing assistance given to our organization. Cultural Diversity Committee, February 28, 2009.
First off, I'd like to thank everybody for coming today and supporting the Cultural Diversity Committee. Willa and Adam, you know how I feel about you two. Denise. I tell you, it's something that, I will tell you a little story. Let me start there first. The other day, Earl come into my office and he says, are you working on Saturday? And of course, Saturday's my day off here. And I looked at Earl and said, why? And he said, well, they want to present you with an award. And at first I said, well, there's no tip needed. That's exactly what we do here. I tell all my staff, don't wait around for the tip. I enjoy what I do. My staff enjoys what they do. And I hope to continue to do this for many more years, as long as the good Lord willing. But anyway, yeah, when Mr. Mayor, I should say, came into my office, Isn't that wonderful? Yes. But on behalf of myself, my staff, and the Holiday Inn, of course, and Intercontinental Hotels, thank you all very much. Thank you.
And lastly, we have a special appreciation award. Alicia Layton, are you still here? Gets to come to the stage one more time. This is a special appreciation award, again, reiterating what I said before, for the donations, for the tireless hours, for coming here and helping us get started, for buying out, 10 tables. That's probably over 100 people here from 4 counties. It's just wonderful to have them as part of the community and all that they do for the community. Let's hear it for Walmart. And Alicia's accepting this on behalf of all the Walmarts in the county.
This final award of appreciation is presented to Walmart Supercenter, store number 69, an appreciation for your generous donation to help the needy in our community. Giving something back to the community, February 28, 2009.
Thank you. Wow, thank you all for this. I appreciate this. And this is just what we do, give things back to the community. And real proud to have all you as our customers. I know everybody here at Walmart is just really proud to be here. So again, thank you, and thank you for supporting us.
I know many of you have asked me to come up to me and said, I haven't said anything this year about Jermaine. Everybody remember Jermaine Jackson? Jermaine? Come here, Jermaine. Everybody wants to see you, how much you've grown. Come here real quick. Come here. I'm not going to make you talk, Jermaine. I know you want to get in front of this mic, but I'm not going to let you. Come on up here on stage a minute. No, he doesn't want to tell you how old he is. He's 14. So this is about to This is the 7th or 8th year that he's been here, and I hope this has been educational for you. Has it been good today? Has it been a good program today? Well, thank you. I'm glad you Jermaine's a great kid. He's 14. I can't believe he's a teenager, but he's growing up before our eyes. But I'll give him a warm welcome with an applause. When you want to hear applause from people, someday he will grow out of that bashfulness. If he's going to be part of our family, he's got to have stage presence. So we're working on that. We're working on that. Lastly, I'd like to thank again the Jefferson County Sheriff's Department for being here today and staying here for the entire afternoon. If you'd all please stand, we'll have the retrieving of the flag, retiring of the flag.
Guard! Forward! Forward! Face! 3, go! Right, face! Forward, forward!
While you're still standing, we'll have the Mount Olive Choir come back and lead us, and we shall overcome.